Alyssa Azar was only 8 years old when her love of adventure began, walking the grueling Kokoda track with her father by her side. Fast forward just 2 years, and the young Aussie had conquered the country's 10 tallest mountains and Africa's Mount Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, but it was the world's highest peak that held Alyssa's fascination. 2 attempts at the Mount Everest summit were met with disaster when she was forced to abandon her climb in 2014 after 17 Sherpas died in an avalanche. A year later, an earthquake hit the region, but Alyssa powered on, making history as the youngest Australian to ever reach the top.
Wow.
And Alyssa Azar joins us now live from Brisbane. Welcome.
Thank you.
You first started adventuring before you even hit double digits. Let's start back at the beginning. What made you want to trek Kokoda?
Yeah, so my dad was and still is a Kokoda track guide, and so that's really how I knew about it. And I was always really active. I was really fascinated with adventure, and we would often go out bushwalking just locally on the weekends, and it didn't take long before I wanted to do Kokoda myself, and really dedicated myself to the training for a couple of years, and then went and did it. So.
Coincidentally, I watched a movie last week called Everest, and I was watching that going, why would anybody ever want to do that? You're amazing. You attempted Everest 2 times before you actually made it.
Yes.
How does it feel when you get so close and then you've got to turn back each time?
Yeah, it was incredibly difficult those first 2 times. You know, we'd been in base camp for a little bit each time, getting ready to start, and yeah, to be so mentally focused on your goal and then to have to abandon it was really tough. But ultimately, I just decided it's really what I wanted to do, and returned for a 3rd attempt and finally got there. So,
what's it going to be, 3rd time lucky, or were you just going to keep trying until you did it?
Yeah, I was going to keep trying, but yeah, you know, it's hard to put an expedition together, just all the logistics, so it was quite stressful, but ultimately, yeah, it was 3rd time lucky in the end.
All right, so you're up there, you're at the top. What's that feeling like?
It was pretty surreal. You know, I'd imagined being on the summit so many times, but to actually be standing there was an incredibly surreal moment, and yeah, one I'll remember forever. So.
Well, your dad must be super proud, Glenn, because adventuring is obviously, you know, part of his DNA, so...
Yes, yeah, definitely. He's been my biggest supporter, probably since Kokoda, and, you know, never sort of knocked my goal of wanting to climb Everest, and really supported it as well. So, yeah, it was a big moment for both of us when I summited. Yeah.
Now, when you summit there, what do you do? Do you remember what you said, what you were thinking, what you did?
Yeah, you know, getting up there, I mean, you're on oxygen, so there's not much talking while you're climbing, obviously, but getting to the summit, the first thing is, you know, get some photos, but then you've only got a short window up there, so I just really took a moment to, like, take it all in and be on the summit, and then it was time to get back down, so...
Yeah, that's interesting. So how long do you actually, after spending all that time and all that planning and years of work, when you actually get there, how long are you there for?
Yeah, so I was on the summit for 20 minutes, and that's actually pretty long. So that's all the window you get, yeah.
Wow. What's next on your list? Because you don't strike us as someone who would just go, okay, tick, I've done that now, relax.
Yeah, you know, there's a few things I want to do personally and professionally. So climbing-wise, there's definitely some other really big mountain challenges out there I'd like to take on over the next few years. And then professionally, you know, I've been looking at a few different options to particularly empower young women and girls to do things. And yeah, so there's a few exciting projects coming up around that as well.
So how old are you now?
20.
20, okay,
Yeah.
Wow. You've got a big life ahead of you adventuring. Great to talk to you. Thanks, Alyssa.
That's right. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Alyssa. Wow, great stuff. For more information on Alyssa's incredible journey, you can pick up a copy of her book, The Girl Who Climbed Everest. It's all in the title, and it's out now. And head to our website for more information. Fantastic.